Welcome back to Shanghai. This is hype. First half of the day is over. We have our first semi-final. It's Romantic versus Lin. One of our Western hopes has been crushed by Romantic, but we have a second one for the first time, and that's the world champ. He's on a mission to defend his title to become the third back-to-back GCS champion, and he's fighting a former back-to-back GCS champion in 1-2-0. The best undeads in the world for the first time offline. No more hype needed.
The two best undeads by far. And by the way, that is not because there is not enough talented players trying to get to their level. There's a ton. WZ in China always among, the next best. I don't know, TBC, Shaokai, and so on. In Europe, we have a whole slew of really good tier 2 undeads. But despite how good they are, everyone is still miles away from these other two. For undead fans, for undead players, this is gonna be a treat, and we count among those. 1-0, the first who really showed how good undead can be, and Happy perhaps took it even one step further.
1-0, the most decorated Gold League player ever with 2 gold and 2 silver medals. That's quite some time ago. It was the Winter edition of 2017, I believe, when he last won the championship. And Happy came, arrived, and conquered. Many fans wanted him for a long time to go to China. He refused, but last summer he finally made the decision to go here. Thanks to his viewers, thanks to the Russian community. And what a success story it was. Our map, number 1, is Concealed Hill. Happy vetoes Echo. 1-0 vetoes Terranas Stand. That leaves Twisted in for Happy.
Interesting,
and
right?
Northern Isles. 1-0 for Last Refuge and Amazonia.
Happy vetoes Echo, one of the smallest maps, and 1-0, one of the bigger ones with Terranas.
Yeah, this is interesting because on Terranas, in the last 2 times they met, 1-0 was always the one trying something cheeky on this. Maybe he realized that doesn't work against Happy.
We have talked with a few people, players, fans, about this matchup coming up. Happy has shown that in a micro war, he seems to be superior even on 200 ping disadvantage, which is ridiculous. Now they're playing offline. Some people feel like 1-0 has to come up with a brilliant plan, has to play something else outside the norm, because otherwise you have to out-micro Happy. And out-micro Happy, almost nobody can do. Perhaps nobody can do.
Can finally someone stop Happy in the tournament? Can it be the Necromancer? The Emperor is lurking for more money. Before the summer WGL, his entire Warcraft 3 earnings were $50,000. He could more than double his career prize money just with 2 tournaments. In the bottom left, the winner of Group D, being undefeated so far, coming into this quarterfinal with 4-0, losing only 1 map to focus. This is 1-0. And his opponent, surprisingly second in the group, not defeated by Moon, not defeated by Infi, but by Sock. But when it's the big names, he crushed them both. Infi with Orc, Night Elf, of course represented by Moon. They met twice, but this is the first time they meet on even conditions. Not on netties, not with the 150 ping, but offline, same ping. Both matches so far, even with the disadvantage, went to Happy. 1 in Yule Cup, 3-2. Happy took the tournament. 1 in CC Masters qualifier with a 2-0 for Happy even. 1-0 needs solutions to Happy's godlike micro. What's it gonna be?
Serious min-maxing here in the first little moment of this game. It's not really impactful, but I want to point it out. 1-0 is triggering the exact angle of attack in such a way that the rabbit walks towards his base to have it a little bit closer to trigger the skeletons.
This is the level we're playing on now.
This is like
forcing movement on critters.
A quarter of a second faster of getting the skeletons. Every little thing he's trying to get here of an edge. Mirrored builds, by the way. No Dreadlord, no Lich, no Ghoul build. It's the DK Ted Fiend opening, which is very prominent on this map. Easy level 3 creep here, even with low fiend numbers. And Happy, as strong as he is, he has one big weakness, which is his predictability. Normally, when he's convinced of a certain style and opening being the best, he's always going to go for this. And I have seen plenty of Happy streams in my day, and I'm sure 120 has done some homework with replay analysis himself. Happy loves creeping level 3 here quickly and then going towards the middle red camp early, trying to get the Ogre Lord with only 3 fiends. Something like that is absolutely greedy and could perhaps be punished if 120 is aware of this possible opening.
Attacks at the same time. And yeah, scouting Happy's builds. That's something you pointed out. It was yesterday when I took a look into the players' room and I saw 10 Chinese people next to Happy, 120, oftentimes sitting next to him or very close to him. Everyone wants to scout Happy, and China maybe working together here. This Gold League was in Chinese hand for a long time, but they are craving for a final again. A year ago it was Moon and Foggy, a Korean and a Westerner. Last time it was Happy and Moon. Once again, a Korean and a Westerner. Will this be the revenge of China? It's going to be super tough.
First blood goes to Happy. It was only... goes to 120, excuse me. It was only an Acolyte, of course. We saw some nice continued min-maxing here with 120, creeping with his own Acolyte, pulling out the creeps a little bit. He's pulling out all the stops. But Happy still seems to be creeping a little bit faster. Here is that creep route. You go from green to Merchant to Murlocs, and that's level 3 then. Happy's doing it quickly, not even triggering too much inner fire over here. Scouting Acolyte does die. We are moving towards a Fiend game here, as it seems. No transition has to be expected. Fiends, Lich, Dark Ranger, Banshees, that just seems to be the best in Undead Mirror, without exception.
Yeah, by far. And with this condition, it's definitely understandable that Happy goes for it. Quite surprised to see 120 with no Lich first, with no Dreadlord first, with no special strats. He seemed to be confident that he can win the heads-up fights, the straight-up fights, which he might be the only one. But confidence was never an issue with 120. Hello level 3, hello Coil level 2.
So question is Happy actually going to try to go for the Ogre Lord here in a moment? With the double illusions, perhaps he could tank it pretty well, but 120 is scouting for this. And this has been shown so many times by now that it shouldn't be happening uncontested. As pointed out by the observers, super fast tech by 120 before the Lich.
And Happy is making the first move into 120's base.
Slaughterhouse
That's a
cancel.
slaughterhouse up for grabs.
Oh, and no Nerup.
Oh,
120 is trying to cut as many corners as he can. This could be painful. Costs the TP already.
Happy doesn't want to be trapped, goes to the right-hand side, still could be a surround. Fiend damage is coming onto that slaughterhouse. How long can he keep the damage up? Acolytes have to be moved out as 120 is already in tech. He can't afford to lose them, but nice defense from the Chinese to keep the slaughterhouse up, to not have the late Obsidian statues. Key moment already.
Really important also 120 in the back of his base. Really quick with his Acolyte micro. Happy was looking for that surround. With 4 skeletons, you can surround the Acolyte next to the gold mine. It can't move and it's gonna die. But 120, even without a Nerup, look at his patience and confidence. He's not even upgrading a Nerup during all of this.
The slaughterhouse has to be cancelled. Okay, he came in for the second time and this time it works. The rush tier 3. What does it give him? A fast orb of corruption, of course, but the region will be lacking. Happy is the one losing a lot of HP on the fighting units.
Acolyte.
Oh, he's still chasing. Lich arrives. Hello, Nova. That's the first kill right here. 120. Maybe not expecting this that early. And the mana for Happy looks really good.
Oh,
Still retreating. Gotta be careful. There's another Nova soon. This Fiend needs a coil. There we go.
Coil on cooldown now. Happy could look for the next Nova, but not enough follow-up damage. And, wow. A bit of a risk by 120. Fast tech, no Nerup, and Lich. This were kind of his risks, and they all get punished.
Yeah.
Slaughterhouse cancelled, Fiend killed, Acolyte not killed, but still quite a bit of mining time lost. And Happy with... Was it a read? Or was it just blind luck? I'm not sure, but certainly with quite the lead now after this early game.
Yeah, despite coming into this as the second of his group, he looked very, 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 very strong, and he shows it here again.
Oh, he's coming back in. He knows about the poison damage.
There's still Nova to be used. Very conservative. Maybe the Lich is a target.
Coil on cooldown.
Okay. Goes for the Fiend, though, and kills it off. Number 2, is there a coil for him? Yep, has the right timing.
Yeah, that was weird. The coil was on cooldown there for a second for 1-0, and Happy didn't opt for the Nova. Look at the Lich. Full mana for Happy. Looks like Happy could have gotten more from that Creepjack. But
Still
good saves by 1-0. And with that, Fiend numbers are equalized.
Okay. What did he save the Novas for? Temple of the Damned transition earlier for the Russian. More Fiends, statues as well. Approaching 50 supplies. Supply is equal. Levels pretty much equal. And Happy is moving back to the middle of the base.
Oh,
This is the
nice
red
scout.
spot.
Oh, Skeleton Scout, as always, from 1-0. We are used to this by now, but it still has to be mentioned how good he is with that. Traps the Ogre Lord in. Oh, Happy misses the trap. That normally does not happen.
Okay. We've also mentioning this in last time's competition. Happy sometimes needs a game to get into a series. Fight for the Ogre Lord. This can be a game-deciding item. Lich is a little bit down. DK as well. Counter focus. The shockwave helps a little. Whoa, 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 whoa. Lots of damage on the DK. Maybe he saved the Nova for this. He has 2 more.
Yeah, Happy with the Nova advantage. 1-0 dry on the Lich, but 1 more Fiend. Dark Ranger should be picked up soon.
A lot of coils and snare, very helpful for the Russian. DK taking more damage, has to use the potion, and the big one goes to 1-0, as well as the claws plus 12.
1 Fiend died for this, but easily worth it for the experience and the big item.
Dark Ranger edition on both sides arrives for Happy at the same time as for 1-0. Who's gonna get the last hit? Happy with a nice long range coil.
Inventory for the Lich for 1-0 is looking insane, though.
Yeah.
Way, way, way better than for Happy.
Yeah. There's still 2 red spots. Can be a Rope of the Magi, can be a True Shot. Oh, that would be big kills for Happy right here. The Fiend falls, saves the Fiend at the same time. 1-0 feels like he's falling apart a little. Damage is everywhere and only 1 statue, but that is very hurt as well. Silence on the Lich. No Nova at the moment, but right clicks at the statue again and it dies.
And that Nova was too late. Coil heals up there for Happy. The Lich's inventory is not quite good enough to carry 1-0 into the late game. Was only on 1 statue. That one died, so now it's 2 statues versus 0, and Happy takes the lead again in this match.
And the statue was late anyway, thanks to the Slaughterhouse cancel. 6 supply lead. A big battle on the hill. Happy has the high ground now. Lich under pressure. And 1-0 has to retreat. He can't fight uphill. No way.
Down by 1 statue, 1 Fiend. That's a big deal right here.
And Happy's Banshees are coming slowly, right?
Yeah, they must be on the way.
I haven't seen a Temple of the Damned. Roomy, you god. Haven't seen a Temple of the Damned for 1-0 yet. This is definitely the time for Happy to creep this. More Fiends. Does he have Web already? There's the Temple. Whoa, there's going to be a big Banshee advantage.
Judging from the lumber, looks like Happy doesn't have Web yet. Okay. Dark Ranger almost level 2. That's a nice little level up for the Dark Arrow. And he gets that level up.
Okay, good. A little bit more damage. Dark Ranger out of position, repositions. Fights Happy off. Needs a coil that DR soon before the Lich arrives. Is, of course, in time.
Who gets the better silences? Who gets the better Novas? That's what it's all about.
Anti-magic shell is ready as well. That's the adept upgrade already, but silence. Lich under pressure. Coil is there. Very conservative with the anti-magic. Not spamming it.
Banshee is dead, but look at this. What is 1-0's army? It's only 1 Fiend left here with the heroes. Lich in trouble. Silence coming in. Could be falling right here. Barely gets away. Dark Ranger really brave. Trying to get the statue. May cost her life. But 1-0 is playing it absolutely to the max. To the very edge. She may die for this, but she's only level 1. Perhaps not that painful of a loss.
It is, of course, good experience for Happy. Couldn't be denied. Close to 4. Getting closer to 3 with the web finish now, and this is the red spot item for Happy. What is it? Flute would be the best, maybe? Skirt Bone Chimes one for the shop, and 1-0 with the next consumable.
That's a nice creep. If 1-0 gets this lap and falls back to the fountain, gets the next creep there, he's getting a lot out of this late game stage where he is a little bit behind, certainly. Happy, by the way, most recently, last couple of months or so, has been favoring playing 50 supply expansion a lot in many matchups, Undead Mirror among those. And he's opening up the natural. This, yeah, smells like an expansion. If you don't want to expand, there's no reason to go there. This is a bad creep camp to take because you're so far away from all the other camps on the map.
This gives 1-0 the second Drake. That is the second red spot item. Has been revealed, so Happy knows.
Levels pretty equal on Lich and DK, but the Dark Ranger is a massive difference.
What does it do, really, this Dark Ranger level advantage?
Happy normally always goes for Dark Arrow first, and then the bonus damage spikes incredibly from +2 damage to +10 damage, which is a really big deal. Especially the lower the army numbers become, and normally Fiends have a tendency of dying rather quickly and the heroes keep on surviving. That, plus the skeleton being sacrificed for the Lich with Dark Rituals, so yes, level 3 Dark Rangers absolutely a big level advantage. Happy pushing towards the main, buying time for the expansion whilst putting on pressure at the same time.
Happy is the one breaking upkeep. He wants to keep 1-2-0 in that no upkeep. He gets the Ziggurat immediately rebought in the south, but that's 150 gold. TP by 1-2-0. 60 versus 50 fight, but the home base advantage for the Chinese. Big Nova. That Fiend is certainly falling, and the skeletons rise. Another Fiend in trouble for 1-2-0. Where are the cards? 2 kills right away.
That was a triple silence. Everything was stacked up after the TP, and Happy hit the perfect silence right there. Dark Ranger almost dying for the Russian, but she survives just barely.
Lich diving. Fiends falling. Oh, Coil is ready. DK so low. Dark Ranger as well. Lich in the middle of attention, and that could be, it must be a Coil. Is there a silence? Not this time, but Invul Potion on that Lich.
Oh, the Dark Ranger in trouble now, possibly for 1-2-0. But Happy focusing on the Fiends first. Has a 10 supply lead already. Fiend barely gets away, but guess what? Happy doesn't have to win the game right here. He's got the expansion now up, and he's getting further and further ahead in this match. 1-2-0 has the monumental task now ahead of him to get back in this match.
The Lich got the Robe of the Magi, by the way. He's +28. That is the carry. If he can somehow get rid of that Lich, he wins the game. He is kind of winning that fight in 1-2-0's base, which is crazy, but now there's a backlash on the Russian army. Trying to take out the Banshee works. Nova onto the Fiend, gets a coil in the end. What an on-par battle.
Yeah, this Lich is keeping 1-0 in the game. Without this Lich, this game is most likely over already. But the damage here is stacking up. Right clicks, Nova's coming in. 1-0 now out of mana on that Lich.
We see more and more curses from 1-0's Fiends. He's now off the Blight and gets another kill immediately. Trying to follow it up with the second one. Lich has been hurt. There's more mana thanks to Dark Ritual. What a massive supply lead once again. 1-0 is trying to catch up. The expansion for Happy is running. No upkeep for the Chinese. Big
And
Nova.
more kills.
Yeah.
Every
Spiraling out of
Nova.
control. Just spiraling out of control.
1-0 doesn't have the numbers anymore. At the supply, we see a 15 lead.
He can't put pressure on the heroes because of anti-magic shell. He's trying to go for the Banshees, but Happy moves them back into statue range. So he forces the Fiends and the Lich into the front row, and then hits him again. There's no Nova anymore.
Happy expertly kiting. As always, of course. He is the best in the world at that, and he's showing it. This game, he didn't get ahead purely with a micro. He actually was able to punish the greed by his opponent, reading the game perfectly. It's one Lich to save 1-2-0.
Yeah. And now we see the expansion kicking in. 67 supply. Double Invul Potion as well. TP on the DK. He's looking. Is there something? No, there's not. He must have an Acropolis, otherwise he would have moved back earlier. And he can defend with a TP. What else is at the expansion? 1-2-0 has 780 gold. There's a Nerup. There's an Acropolis. But Happy. Okay, now. Defenses Expo. Oh, aggressive. Nova right clicks. Again, the coil a little too late. The silence interrupted it. And TP out immediately. No coil possible anymore. It's another kill.
3 kills. Those are losses 1-0 cannot afford. Happy's getting further and further ahead.
Yeah, not with 2 ways, 1 base. Absolutely no chance. The silences are on point. The timings are on point. The damage distribution is on point. Happy is on point.
What play is there? How can 1-2-0?
Zeppelin drop, but it's so hard against Web. There's no staff, and at the moment, no TP.
It's especially with this Lich, I think it has to be hero kill. Hit a timely silence, find one hero exposed, kill him off with the Nova right clicks. But the best counter to that is already available, the Banshees, with the anti-magic, protecting these heroes perfectly against spell damage.
Happy must be a little careful to not overextend. Anti-magic is not on the heroes, by the way.
3-1 upgrades, by the way, for Happy against 2-0 on 1-2-0.
But that Lich is worth 12 supply or more. Banshee trying to take it out, but good micro by 1-2-0. Anti-magic shells now on the Lich. Okay, like that. Fiend is falling in the back. Did he purposely move the Fiend to the upper left so he can last hit?
I wouldn't put it past him.
Okay, okay, of course, it's Happy.
Way superior numbers. It's just way more Fiends. Happy's gonna lose some of them. This Lich's right clicks hurt real bad, but
it's not enough.
Not enough, no.
Nova only onto Banshees. He's not threatening the hero kills. And in kills in general, Happy gets more and more and more and more and more. On this level, there's no way to win this. High upkeep for Happy. 88 supply.
Well, that's not something you see every day, but guess what? When you save everything with coils and anti-magic.
Little run by the ghouls. Tiny little play by 1-2-0, but it's nice.
Oh, that Nova! Oh, that hurt.
No split against it, hitting everything. Coil on the Abomination, but then it's free reign on everything else. He still wants this A-bomb gone, and not getting it at the moment. But keeps him at 50 supply. There's no way for 1-2-0 to get at least to 60.
Look at the Lich. Absolutely no fear. Close to level 4 now for the monumental +4 intelligence. 4 statues, by the way, for Happy. Yeah. He is not running out of regen.
No, not at all. Lich level 4, even more damage, even more mana. But Happy will follow with the next kill, which should be coming in soon. This Fiend will most likely fall as well as the Banshee. Okay, 2 kills right here, but a lot of damage is going to this A-bomb. Does a great job.
1-2-0, he's finding a way to stay in this for a little bit at least. Finally, A-bomb coming in for Happy as well. Mana's running low, Happy out of mana on the DK. Same is the case for 1-2-0 basically, but it's finally time to call it GG. Happy with one hell of a performance, making 1-2-0 look like it wasn't 1-2-0.
Yeah, what a timing at early tier 2. This cancel on the Slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
This chase of the Acolytes giving him a tiny gold advantage, throwing 1-0 down so much, then this lengthy fight in the middle where he seemed to have the better silences, the better coils, the better right clicks.
Was making use of the high ground as well with the mischance, had the double statues out early. That is what canceling the Slaughterhouse gave him.
Yeah.
And with the engagements always being so extended, having the statue heal plus mana, important. Plus mana in the bag is really important. It's 2 mana per second. That adds up really quickly over time on 3 heroes, plus later on Banshees as well, of course. 1-2-0, I can't blame him that he still looked for the fight. He had circlets, mantle, and claws plus 12 on the Lich, plus a quick high level. It feels like he should be able to take that fight.
Yeah.
But Happy just with expert control and just perfect kiting. I also loved how the DK was never in the front line in that big middle fight. He was standing way in the back.
Yeah, he was hurt there.
Yeah, that also was a reason. But also meant he couldn't get silenced really, and always came in with the coils.
Yeah, correct. So tell us, you undead expert, how much of a gamble is a fast tier 3? How much of a risk is it? What does it tell us about 1-2-0?
Normally, really is not a risk, because normally every undead cares about either creeping level 4 quickly and soaking up the map, or creeping the Lich quickly when he comes out. And normally that's Happy's game plan. Normally Happy is never aggressive early on tier 2. So it's a very well calculated risk normally by 1-2-0, but Happy somehow knew Somehow he knew. And I'm pretty sure in most games when 1-0 would try to go for this, it would go unpunished. But here it did get punished indeed.
Okay, number 1 map goes to Happy. Hawk had the same, but in the end lost. So don't write off 1-0 too early. Last Refuge is the next map. By the way, the most successful map of Happy was Terranar Stance, so understandable by 1-0 to veto it in the end, as his cheeses didn't work. Can he strike back, or will Happy run away with the 2-0? The best undead mirror players colliding, and so far it seems that it remains true what everyone says here. In a direct comparison, Happy is just better. They met twice, Happy won twice. Happy in general, this matchup is just his. He is owning the world in this matchup with an 80% win rate in major tournaments. He has lost the last undead mirror on October 27, 2018 against Lucifer.
It's more than a year ago.
13 months of being undefeated. Exactly, to the date. And 1-2-0, he's pretty much 50-50. He's losing to Lucifer, he's losing to WFC, and obviously losing to Happy, as this is a matchup he didn't really need throughout his entire career. His micro was enough to defeat WFC and Lucifer usually, who then came up with some creativity. In Europe, of course, it's a lot more competitive undeads than there is in Asia on that tier 1, tier 2 level.
Yeah. Also in Russia, Shaddai, Sheik, been looking really good lately. Over in Germany, there's been X-Lord in the past, and Wan, and Ente, and Side. Dowak in Sweden. There is a really strong tier 2 scene in Europe, all strong undeads, but they're all overshadowed by Happy.
Yeah.
They're all good, but they're all still a lot worse than Happy.
That
Happy
too.
is just the miracle.
Definitely 2 tiers between them. So, Last Refuge. What does this mean for us compared to CH?
It is a map with more creeps. It is more congested. It is also easier to evade the opponent and go super heavy creeping, especially on tier 3. However, you can also play it very differently and play hyper aggressive on level 1 or level 2. That is how 1-2-0 was able to play his best map to date against Happy yet. When they met before in the grand final of U Cup, where, with an early Naga actually, 1-2-0 came in with a really smart strategy, following up on his early game aggression with more aggression on tier 2 with that strong cold arrow before Happy even had the aura on his side. And that was one of those smart plays that we know 1-2-0 can go for. 1-2-0 tried to cut corners just a little bit in game 1 and got ridiculously punished for it. I would like to see a Naga here once again with aggressive play prior to that.
Would be quite ironic if both Russians lose Last Refuge in their quarterfinals to a Naga second, after Hawk was being defeated there as well earlier today. So far, so standard, right? No one going for any big last hits.
Yeah. And indeed, 1-2-0 will not be looking for the pre-level 2 aggression. Both will be reaching that level up here in just a moment.
Watch awards for Happy. Nice. Always great to have. And it's once again pretty straight up Fiend builds. Last Refuge, a map where you could expand, I guess.
Yep.
If that's your gamble game plan.
A player's forces are under attack.
Normally, that will never happen before 50 supply though. It's just so important to get tier 3, orb, decent number of fiends, statues, and third hero. With that power spike, you become so much stronger. And investing into 250 gold plus for an expansion before that sounds pretty risky. So far the creep routes here haven't been too revolutionary just yet. Green into green for level 2, and then the natural to keep up accelerating. It's 1-0 a little bit faster here, and I think that's thanks to his Acolyte usage to help with the creeping.
It's just 8 damage, right? But
Yep.
this makes the difference on this very level. How many early games did he win because of a last hit from an Acolyte or a Skeleton? This time, the damage items are on Happy. Attack speed is on 1-2-0, but Claws still better.
Interesting that 1-0 plays it so differently. Absolutely not interested in aggression.
Yeah. He must be confident to still be able to win fights late game against Happy. I mean, if he wouldn't be confident in his late game fight skills, then he wouldn't be a player of this level, I guess.
Regardless of what Happy finds here, is pretty good. Even the ring isn't bad.
Yeah.
Protects you from orb.
Yeah.
And this Lich inventory is already going to be
Player's
quite
forces are
scary.
under attack.
1-0 does it again.
Okay. Happy punishing it. Not. Oh.
Pretty poor items, honestly, for 1-0. Ring, double gloves.
They meet in the middle.
Oh, nighttime. Didn't see each
Oh,
other yet.
Ships in the
Oh,
night.
that was so close. Sees the Fiend now, though.
Yeah. Are they both going for it? Yeah. Oh, the Fiend. Can Happy block? Okay, I think the question is rather, does he want to block?
No, he's aiming for the main again.
Slaughterhouse is not there yet, right?
Slaughterhouse cancel. Since when is this meta? Oh, and tech cancel as well. Is there any punish for Happy here?
What a move. He didn't even do too much. He just arrived, and that's enough
Town is
to get
under-
ahead.
Player's forces are under attack.
Oh, the Acolyte! Ooh, that was last millisecond.
Skeletons are doing a phenomenal job. Lich is here to help, though. 3.3 on the DK of 1-0. Now the Slaughterhouse. Pretty much in Happy's face.
I can't believe 1-0 still didn't go for a narrow, despite game 1.
Greedy. That's what he is. That's what won him championships.
A player's forces
Tech
are under
and
attack.
Slaughterhouse both far ahead for Happy.
Yeah.
Looks like he wants to snipe the red camp perhaps next. 1-0. Does he smell this? This could be a great creep check for 1-0 if he has the right idea.
He has the big invul already. I guess he wants the big mana and therefore gambles for it at the shop, which is less risky. Happy gets rewarded for this risk with, a bad item. But still, a lot of gold.
Yeah.
Scroll of the Beast. Okay, we haven't seen any Destroyer in game 1. If you use that Scroll of the Beast and there's no Dispel, that's a TP or retreat or a one fight for 1-0 with 25% bonus damage.
Yeah, especially on maps like this where there's so much creeping to be done. They can just creep up more and more, and then 1-0 can go into aggressive territory, try to steal camps away, and if Happy is trying to contest, pop the scroll, win the fight, creep up more. So this scroll can absolutely have great effect.
More experience only for 1-0 on the upper left, while Happy can get one of the biggest items here. Ruined Bracers. This matchup is a lot about nukes. And I guess Happy will once again be the first player to go for the Banshees and the anti-magic potions, so having this extra magic resistance is twice as good. And 1-0 for getting Fiends. A first sign of weakness on LR.
And Happy gets both red camps. That's not supposed to happen.
No.
At least both items. First one, lucky for 1-0, there was a bad one,
A player's forces are
because
under
there's
attack.
two insane ones right here. Talking about the Pipe, of course, and the Ancient Django. Cloth plus 12, also really good, but the two auras especially.
Was on Battle Drums, also
Another
really
one.
good.
Yeah. Happy, as he often does on creep-heavy maps, is investing a ton of mana just for creeping. So Happy isn't really fight-ready too much. Gets it again.
Okay, RNGesus on the side of the Chinese. But who's looking for a fight now?
And you can see, DK low mana, low HP, and out of mana. Happy can't really contest right now.
Nope.
So he has to fall back.
Some viewers might ask, why is this item bad? Well, it's the aura that the undead have already, thanks to the DK and the aura stone stack. So you just sell it and get maybe an invo potion for it, and that happened
Player's
twice. Well,
forces
there's
are
a
under
lot of better items available at that camp, as Remo pointed out before.
Happy now loses map positioning and doesn't have the Dark Ranger yet. 1-0 gets level 4. It's always a good level up to get. With a level 2 aura, everything becomes a little bit easier to micro. Oh, did he steal that? I don't think so.
Sure. Level 4 for 1-0 now. And the Dark Ranger. Experience is on the Chinese side. Happy still waiting for the third hero.
Yeah, this is not good for Happy. No silence to make use of. And here we go. Scroll the
Okay.
Beast popped. This is the big timing window.
But we do have a Book of the Dead, also no Dispel, also Happy Space, also slow and instant reinforcements. There's the Fiend falling immediately. And the second one being hurt. TP out by 1-0. This did not go the way he wanted to. Double Fiend kill level 4 for Happy. The Iron Curtain again.
That was looking scarier there. Surprised Happy got away so well with the Black Eye. 1-0 expanding on the high ground. That looks not necessarily desperate, but like a cheeky play, like he's hoping for something lucky to go his way.
It's not his win condition. If it works, it's great. If not, he can cancel or unsummon it. He might lose a little bit of gold, but it's worth the gamble from his perspective.
Ha!
Oh,
Happy steals the item.
it! And the experience as well. The Dark Ranger came with level 1, now it's 1.2. Destroyer in the air, Fiend dies nonetheless. Happy owns every single fight.
Doesn't have web yet, but look at the Fiend numbers. It's 6 versus 2. You just can't, 1-0 can't keep up with the damage.
Level 2 for the Dark Ranger. Black Arrow now available, but will this change much? Not really. The Lich level 3 is the big one. Nova level 2 for the Russian. All the cards in his hand. Just has to play them right.
But the expansion is coming up. If Happy sits back a little bit longer, gives 1-0, 2.5 minutes or so for production, numbers can still rise in favor of the Chinese. But it looks like Happy is going in a certain direction.
Invo potion. Oh, ho, ho, ho. He knows. I don't know if he knows. He feels, he confirms, and he punishes.
Oh, 1-0. Is he going to let this finish?
Wow, wow, wow. He does. Seems confident to be able to win this fight. Now we have Web. Now we have Focus Fire. Now we have a Dead Destroyer. Happy for once with a late coil. And this Nova is big. Another Fiend falling. Happy with losses for once.
Yeah, 2 Fiends dying right away right there. 1-0 saves one of his own Fiends. Lich in the middle of everything was taking quite a bit of damage over there. 2 Novas invested just into the skeletons to get rid of them. Good fight for 1-0 as it seems. Almost getting another Fiend right there. Both players here kiting to the best of their abilities. And the Fiend numbers seem to be now favoring the Chinese. But more Novas flying. More Fiends dying. Banshee coming in. Curses being applied. But not on the Lich here. Small mistake perhaps by Happy. Not cursing the Lich. The most important target. And 1-0 pushes back the Russian.
Yeah, I correct myself. Happy is not owning every single fight. This was most likely the most important on this map. And 1-0 is back. It was the right call to let the expansion finish. It was the right call to go for that fight.
That Book of the Dead was really big. That book actually found great value there. Happy completely skipping destroyers.
Okay, and now double income for 1-0. Breaking upkeep again immediately. This time Ziggurat not cancelled. Slaughterhouse not delayed. But destroyers fall off. Banshees are an essential part of the late game. So Happy counter expansion. Trying to catch up. A lot of units in production. There is a TP. Happy can react. No TP on 1-0.
Yeah, he's probably just going to poke here. Just wants to keep Happy away from creeping. If hero levels remain the same, 1-0 is satisfied with that. He's going to have the superior numbers here soon.
A player's forces are
He has already 60 supply. Oh, that's almost a freebie. Turns around. More experience. Level 3 for the Dark Rangers, close.
Yeah, that's another big one.
And level 5 for the DK is also closer. Now we have ourselves a match.
So Happy. Down in experience, down in supply. Can you still do it?
the town is under
He's looking for that expansion, right? Maybe sacrificing some of his main base for that. Trying to force a TP, but there is no TP. And so, that's definitely the Acolytes down. But what can 1-0 get for it?
Happy could perhaps snipe the Haunted and then TP back.
Is it enough damage? Can he reach? Decent SimCity, he's not going for it. The Crypt is killed. Okay, he jumps right on top of him. The silences must be great.
DK seems to have not been hit, however. Destroyer's getting taken out quickly, but so do the Fiends. Another one falls. We have the supply lead still for the Chinese. Banshees in the back in a horrible position. What are they doing there? Completely caught on the wrong end. And Happy loses all of his spellcasters. Gets more Fiend kills though, and now we're dead even in terms of supply. Another statue is gonna fall, but there's 2 still available for Happy. Nova to cover the retreat by 1-2-0, slowing down the rest of the army. DK though still fast in front, looking for the chase down, trying for the surround as well.
Can't get the block. Good movement by the Lich. Walking into the pit again. Nova on the Fiends. This time the block. Oh, squishes through again. Coil is ready. 1-0. Still on the retreat. Happy chasing, but more and more mining, and the crypt is gone. Can't go for more Fiends. The damage dealer production is stopped for now. 1-0 trying to start mining again, but Happy storms the high ground.
1-0, can he once again come back with a magnificent defense over here? He doesn't have a Book of the Dead this time. What else can he make use of?
There's no TP on neither player this time. This might be the fight for the map.
Good silence here to start things off for 1-0. Happy can't coil for now. Finally, Banshees are coming back in again. Happy already with so many Fiends hurt over here. Coil misses, and that's the first Fiend falling.
He gets an Obsidian statue, but the second Fiend falling, and he cannot replace them at the moment. He's got to run. He's got to save. And so far, it's okay, but there is a player who took control of his very first map, and that's the red one.
Nicely timed Coil. He smelled the Nova coming in, and once again the Coil too late by Happy. And now he's down, what, 3 Fiends to 0, or perhaps 4? This seems to be too much. The Coils are just perfect by 1-0. And Happy, having lost his Fiends earlier, doesn't have the damage output he needs anymore. And now the Chinese, he loses 1 Coil there as well, misses 1 for once. But he gets the level 5, falls back, and has a good supply lead now.
Happy is close, but once again, he can't break the expansion. 1-0 breaking upkeep immediately in this fight. Level 4 for the Lich finally catches up with the damage and the mana. And nice Nova, but the Coil! How good are the Coils in this fight? Did he miss a single one? I don't think so. Focus on the DK now. Knows there's no healing, no TP.
But the start of the fight was just too good for 1-0. That triple silence, or was it a double silence, resulting in so much damage on the Fiends, resulting in the end in all those kills of those Fiends, and really good defensive play as well with his own Fiend saves. This is looking like the 1-1 right now, unless Happy can do something crazy.
Oh, snipe on the Banshee again, and it works again. DK far forward this time, but can take some damage. Nice Nova exploding that Fiend. The Destroyer has been wept, but where is the punishment for it? Where is the range attacks? They're just not here. Lich has a Nova soon. Not going for the DK. Slowly but steady. Taking out the Fiend more and more.
Nah, Happy just doesn't have the Fiend numbers anymore. 2 Fiends is not good enough here to force kills in this late game.
This Lich is no carry. Not as much as 1-0 had in game number 1. He's still getting kills. Okay, that Coil was missed.
And the Destroyers, with the Fiend numbers being rather low, can have good value. Big Nova again. That's another kill right there. And with the Dark Ritual, mana sustain is looking pretty good. Even A-bombs coming in now. Happy just simply doesn't have the firepower anymore. Destroyer gets saved with a level 3 Coil. And Happy is dropping down to low supply. GG. 1-1.
Okay, this was quite a statement for 1-2-0. He is back. He is able to take this fight, and it was this great expansion idea when it didn't look good for him again.
Yeah, bit of a risk there. Happy also in the mid game, playing a little bit recklessly, creeping super aggressive, investing tons of mana and hit points, losing map control for that reason. And when you play so riskily, trying to get experience and items, and you don't get the items, that can backfire on you. He found the aura, the Unholy Aura twice. That is not what he wanted. Nope. He found the Rune Bracers, which can be nice, but honestly, it took a long time until hero focus ever became an issue.
Yeah, it was a lot on Fiends.
Yeah. Normally, it's always you aim for the Fiends first, snipe out a couple, and you only go for the heroes when they're overexposed, because you know the top players will be able to protect their heroes very, very well with Banshees, with anti-magic, and with Invols. So yeah, Happy certainly a little bit unlucky that game. 1-0, a little bit lucky that game with the expansion coming up, but that is always a factor involved in Warcraft 3. And 1-0, yeah, gets the victory here, 1-1. So down to a best of 3.
Indeed, we are. Yeah, that fight in front of the expansion was the key in this game. That was flawless by 1-0. And that shows how good his micro can be as well. We're always praising Happy's micro, seemingly without mistakes here on this map. Quite some coils missed.
Yeah, and also when Happy TP'd back, where he got mass silenced, everything in place, there was one micro mistake that really cost him. He separated his Fiend and Banshees from the rest of the army, but he sent them towards the left instead of towards to his main. So all the Banshees were killed off when 1-0 retreated back. And having the right amount of Banshees is absolutely crucial. 4 or 5 Banshees, that's the sweet spot. That is unlimited curse, that is unlimited anti-magic, and Happy never got to that stage. So over time, 1-0's numbers were able to overpower there with, very well executed micro from the Chinese undead as well.
Okay, but glad to see that 1-0 is not giving this series up after one map yet. This is Happy's map choice. This is Northern Isles. This is map number 3. Last Refuge, 1-0's favorite. This is now Happy's favorite. Looking aggressive as always. Of course, this is already a big point. Whoever wins this has 2 match points in a row. And there's so much more pressure on the loser of Game 3. Of course, the winner here will have his second map in Game 5.
In the last couple of months, 1-0 in this matchup was experimenting quite a lot with fast expansion plays, with Dreadlord, with Lich, but it's not doing it here. It's about all the marbles.
Yeah.
This is what it all comes down to. No lower bracket, guys. This is single elimination, so cannot afford to lose if you want to make it through to the grand final.
Happy has won 3 tournaments, 3 bigger tournaments this year. MTW Legendary Cup, Yule Cup, and of course, no question that he won WGL Summer. 1-0, Emperor Penguin Championship. That's about it. He went to the final in the Yule Cup against Happy, but yeah, where are the big finals for Chinese, for the Chinese best undead? Not happening. Not the big ones. Not since H&W Masters last year. I bet he's hungry for that again. I bet he wants to prove himself again that he can hang with the best of the best. Especially in this matchup, where for a long time he was undoubtedly the best from 2015 to 18. And then there was Happy. And then there was talk. And then there was a match, and then there was an answer. And the answer was Happy.
Yeah. In summer already, when the possibility of Happy versus 1-0 was in the stars, people were talking, who's going to be the best? Who's going to prove himself in the Undead Mirror? But it didn't come to the Undead Mirror because Moon eliminated 1-0 last season in the semifinals. Happy now finds himself truly challenged. 1-1, 1-0 is by no means a pushover. But it seemed to take a bit of trickery in Game 2. And perhaps a bit of luck with the item drops for 1-0. So Happy, still confident, I imagine, as always. We're having a slow start here into this early game, as is pretty much always the case in Undead Mirror nowadays on the highest level. Ted Fiend build with a fast tech, Banshees, and coming much later, and Fiend's also a little bit delayed.
Equal items on both sides. They will both be happy with that. Claws to start things off, which is always great. Gives a little bit of speed for creeping, and later for the Lich, of course. We've seen this in pretty much both games, how much of a factor that is. Red spots here, very, very good, but the most important thing is the shop. Yep. Only one invul. Invul's maybe the most important in this matchup, more than in any other.
Absolutely crucial. Sometimes in the very late game, when you have big armies and anti-magic, you can even try to not rely on them too much, but before Banshees, invul's absolutely crucial. Otherwise, silence on the DK, Nova on the Lich, right clicks, Lich dies, game over. Creep routes exactly mirrored here so far. Seems like both players have a very good idea of what is the best approach to this in the early. 1-0 a little bit faster, once again I believe, thanks to his Acolyte usage.
Happy uses it now as well. And items here, crucial. Plus +9, Pendant, Crystal Ball for Happy again. Scans immediately.
I wonder if he's going to keep it. Happy oftentimes will sell Vision, will even sell Sentry Wards, which I still find blasphemous. But can be very valuable in the later stages, especially when you're battling for the red cams and for positioning on the map. There we go, sells it.
Or Claws.
Classic Happy play. But yeah, Claws are absolutely amazing. Claws on the Lich, perhaps the best item carrier. Blade Master, of course, also great for that, but Blade Master, to make use of him, has to put himself in the front line and in danger. Lich will be standing in the back and will be protected by an invul, most likely.
There's a Pendant of Energy for 1-0, and that is the dream! 2 coils ahead of Happy every single time. Lightning Shield now for creeping. Uses it immediately. I'm always waiting for this cheeky 1-0 Arachnid creep spot, but Happy does it here. With a Lightning Shield.
Really nice.
Well done, fast, and level 3.
Gets the ring as well, which might protect one of his heroes, but again, normally heroes get ignored in the beginning, or perhaps at all times, in favor of going for Fiend instead. Now, 1-0 going for the Marketplace. That's kind of greedy.
Oh, is it this time again? Is it Marketplace again? 1-0 got it, huh? Yep, he did. And the Wand of the Wind. This is a phenomenal item, as you can throw the opponent's hero in the air. He's stuck there for a couple of seconds, and with that you prevent coils and healing and get some kills. And you need the spell to get rid of it, but Happy doesn't seem to be the biggest Destroyer fan.
Did he sell it?
No.
Okay, he sold something else. I was like, what? That's the best item in the game against the DK. I wonder, is Happy gonna respect this and go Destroyers now? It's so good. Wand of the Wind is insanely good. It's another silence. You can go silence, wand, wand. It is one of the more broken items in the game against certain heroes.
Against certain army compositions, for sure. If there's Dispel, it's completely useless. But Happy so far tried to play this matchup without Destroyers.
Happy. Sometimes he overextends a little bit when perhaps he shouldn't. He's going in for the creep jack here, though. Really good position for the Russian. 1-0 falls back instantly.
Once again, careful with the Novas. Where's the coil gonna end up on? Lich or Fiend? So far, nothing. Good spread by 1-0. Or maybe a chance now. Wand of the Wind, here it is. Nova on the Fiend. And there you see it. How long this lasts. Happy does get the kill now. But I think 1-0 got it. Oh, actually not. Despite the Wand of the Wind,
2 for 1.
Happy is getting 2 Fiends. Wow.
And that's a punish.
That's
1-0.
indeed.
Going for the shop, perhaps a little bit too greedy.
Nova.
Oh, but if he gets the Lich kill.
Aiming now, but he should be able to move away. DK can walk exactly to the south, and there's no One of the Wind on the Lich. Can't coil him now. That's the second downside of this, of course. Units in the air can't be coiled, and there must be one. Now, there we go. Surround, tries it again, gets it this time. But against skeletons, you should be able to fight out. Is the coil ready? Doesn't seem like it. Must be a TP.
What?
No! He lets him die with a TP on him. No, he didn't swap it. What happened?
Was he able to not give over the TP, or was this actually intentional?
Could go to the tavern, but that's also expensive. No, he arrives from the altar.
Yeah, it's only level 1 hero, I guess.
That was big experience, though.
Yeah.
Dark Ranger third by 1-0. Now he wants to shop. Can still use one of the Wind. And Sobi Mask. Happy stole it.
How did he steal that?
I don't know.
Why didn't he get Nova?
Telekinesis or something.
That looks a little bit sloppy right there by 1-2-0.
Nova,
Silence, Nova.
silence.
Yep, and that's another kill.
That's the double disable that we were talking about.
Happy got the Sobi at least.
I love the fights between them. It's just gorgeous Warcraft.
Lich is back for Happy, brings the orb. But no money yet for the Dark Ranger.
for quite some time. He's gonna play without one disable for a long time. Only at 100 now. Destroyer upgrade coming.
A player's
Despite
forces
there
are
only
under
being one
attack.
charge. But that one charge of one of the wind... Oh, it's gone actually, right?
Yeah. Why is he going Destroyer? We saw them entirely skipped so far by Happy. Can still be good Destroyers, absolutely, if you get the timely Dispel against the Silence to hit the Clutch Coil. But for fighting, they are basically useless.
Happy gets to Dark Ranger. Silence, of course, on both sides. Red spot for 1-2-0. And
These
that
item
is-
drops are a big influence, massive influence on this game.
Yeah, Claws plus 12. Once again possible. Pipe possible. Happy doesn't seem to be too confident to do it yet.
Pipe is the best one.
By far. Destroyer upgrade coming now.
Ancient Django for 1-0. Also really good.
Yeah,
But triple claws for Happy.
more movement speed is always helpful. Also attack speed, always helpful.
Sneaky Expo again.
Oh, okay. Happy needs
A player's forces are
great scouting. Better scouting, faster scouting.
And he's hoping for a better red camp item. His first 2 red camp drops were awful.
Looks like Wasong Battle Drums. Oh, same items. Nice. Gets the last bit of experience. 1-0 is here. Can't punish this too much anymore. Happy gets the level 2. Gets the level 3. 1-0 does not have the level 2 Nova.
We'll get it at the Tuskars though.
a player's forces are under
1-0 is not creeping with his DK anymore. He's using him for scouting and perhaps to steal a creep or 2 with Coil. But if he doesn't get that, he doesn't get level 4. And level 4 is a big deal.
Is Happy scouting the expansion right now? Is there a blue dot? It's so hard to see on the ice map. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. With the skeletons coming from the Dark Ranger, Happy should absolutely send one down to the bottom right.
Sold the crystal ball earlier. That would have been the easiest solution, of course.
Happy does not have a single invul, by the way.
Yeah. 1-0 got one so far. This time the expansion will not be on a high ground. He bought the Scroll of the Beast.
I think he found it, right? Didn't he?
Ah, he bought the rope then.
So, in we go. Lich very far forward there for Happy. Does not have the invul. That's dangerous.
Yes, it is. No potions. Only a TP. Lightning Shield found, but that doesn't do too much. Went of mana stealing on the Dark Ranger, actually.
Very careful, both these players, to engage here.
And so close with the levels. 50-50. Happy is scouting for the expansion. That might be a game-winning move, or at least game-saving move. Big Novas into the back, and Happy misses the coil again.
Still seemingly superior fear numbers here, though. 5 versus 4 at the moment, but Novas are cooling down. Happy repositioning. I'm amazed he's putting this Lich so far forward. But I guess as long as the DK doesn't get silenced in the back, it's okay-ish.
No tower yet. But 1-0 has the angle from the north. It's always good. As I said, no high ground. Forces the fight before Happy is able to go for the Acolytes. Fiend, focus, dead. Fiend, focus, dead.
Oh, Fiend's dying here very quickly on both sides. It's a 2-for-1 so far in Happy's favor, I believe. DK now under pressure. 1-0 would love to force a TP to force Happy away.
Yes.
Statues dying quickly in this focus.
Oh, the DK though gets the anti-magic potion. That was big. Nova kill. Another one
Right
for Happy.
click!
Oh my! 44 HP. The statues have to work overtime now. Is there time to kill the mining? 1-0 has to re-engage. He has to go for this, for the throat of the DK before there's too much damage. But it's so hard. 10 supply lead for the Russian. Nuke on the Lich. Info potion. Kills more and more fiends.
1-0 doesn't seem to have the numbers anymore, like it was in for Happy in game 2.
Abomination's coming early, but what do they do really? Oh, catching the reinforcements, that's big. Anti-magic at the coil. Sweet save by Happy again. And the Skeleton putting pressure onto the Acolytes. The DK on Blight and with statues back to 1/3 HP.
Happy, looking to be in a good position. He doesn't have the expansion, but he has the numbers. He has way superior firepower. This Lich, despite no protection really, is doing so much damage in the front line. Look at the positioning.
Nova on the Fiends again. Should be a 1-for-1 trade. No, Happy in range of the statues. The Lich can't get the last hit. The Abomination is down. The Lich is diving deep for more kills, but the coils arrive. No blocks at the moment.
Oh!
But the Lich, whoa!
That was
That is so sick! And the Nova finishes it. Happy takes the lead. Match points for the Russian.
Whew. Looking pretty similar there for a while. 1-2-0 coming in with a sneaky expansion again, but Happy didn't, lose too much before mounting the big assault on the expansion, and seemingly with just slightly better micro, getting just 1 or 2 more Fiend kills and then spiraling out of control. The Lich, so aggressively positioned by Happy, so far forward with a triple claws plus orb. The parry up protected him a little bit, but most importantly, DK for Happy always kept back behind the front line of Fiends and Statues. Never really could get silenced, and that way, I guess, the Lich was always safe. Those are the situations where I would love to have a damage meter in Warcraft 3.
Yes.
The Lich for Happy must have been out of control with his
Completely
DPS.
crazy at the end. Like what he put onto that Lich in the last moments of the game felt like 1/8 of HP was just constantly chipped away. Surreal. Very important for Happy to survive the Wand of the Wind, to not fall for the expansion once again, to scout it in time during the fight. So he spread his attention twice, like so sick.
And that Wand of the Wind, that can be a game-deciding item.
Yeah.
1-2-0, like, overreached in the middle there. He's like, oh, I find Wand of the Wind. That's a big advantage. So now I can try to go for the Merchant. But that cost him 1 Fiend right away and didn't have the firepower anymore to look for the quick kills. He aimed for the ambitious Lich kill. That didn't work, and suddenly all charges are gone. All your advantages from that item are gone.
Well, it did work, but it was only level 1, so...
Okay.
it's really
right,
not
right.
that big. I thought, okay, if he runs away with the Lich experience now and gets the Nova advantage, then this fight, or the next big fight, should be his. But somehow, Happy was the first to arrive on level 3 with better creeping, with the Lightning Shield creep at the Scorpions. That helped him a ton as well to speed things up again and get the levels up. And in the end, if you kill this one fight at the choke, the last fight at the choke, how he killed 2 Fiends at the same time, losing only 1, that was the start of the snowball, I feel, in the last fight. 1-0 was never able to recover from that.
Yeah, and he was already behind there when they were fighting in the second choke, but when you commit to a hero kill or TP, like 1-2-0 did, and he doesn't get it, that's a fight lost normally on this level. DK went from 100% to like 2%. And that is effectively going like 2,000 damage into the DK because of hero armor reduction. And maybe he still had the Ring of Protection. I think he did even. I don't know if he gave it to anybody else. Normally focusing DK is a mistake. Normally they don't die when they're wielded by DK, by Happy and by 1-2-0. And here we saw it again. I guess 1-2-0 felt he had to force this TP away. He was already too far down in Fiend numbers. Perhaps the wise call. And
almost
almost
the same as on Last Refuge, right? Where Happy was the one losing the big fight and down in Fiend numbers and then just trying to do something desperate in the fights and didn't really work out. But here it was the other way around. So there's a pattern in these 3 games. Happy is always the first one going for Banshees. 1-2-0 is always the first one going for Abominations.
and expansions.
What does it tell us?
I think A-bombs are really overrated in this matchup.
Depends a little on the timing and on the quantity.
Yes, I would agree with that. The bigger the armies become, the better A-bombs naturally become, because Fiends in the back just end up blocking each other. When you go upwards of 7 Fiends, it's just too much. But like this around 60 supply, 55, 60, seems to be where 1-0 throws in the A-bombs. And A-bombs are so easy to focus. They are always in the front line, and they're taking full damage from piercing.
Yeah.
Fiends, heroes, they all take reduced damage from piercing, Banshees not, of course, but Banshees are way in the back. A-bombs, such an easy target to focus. When you get to 3 A-bombs and protect them all with anti-magic, it's hard to take them out, and they do tank for a long time, and then they're good. But I feel like 1-0 is going for them a little bit too early. Would like to see earlier Banshees for him instead.
I definitely agree. This gives Happy oftentimes the lead with the first curses, with the first anti-magics. All right, pressure on the Necromancer now. Will he be eliminated before the grand final once again? Last time top 4, this time only top 8. Everyone was questioning last season, last summer, who's the better one between them. This year we get the answer, and so far it looks like it's this guy. On the way to his second title, if it looks like this, he would be facing TH or Sock in the semi-final. This is 1-0 second map. This is Amazonia.
This is one of the better maps for a Lich first, by the way. Heading into this match, I was expecting at least one Lich first play, whether it be for a fast expansion attempt or for a Fiend transition later on. Both is viable. Perhaps not exactly optimal, but certainly playable. But what we're seeing so far from the base build, it absolutely is not looking like a Lich build. Tet Fiend BO versus Tet Fiend BO. We're staying absolutely standard.
Still surprised by this. I mean, Amazonia is not really the map for cheeky plays early. Well, Lich rushes could be, because of the base-to-base distance.
And you can try to just aim for super hard creeping with the Lich early on. Lich plus Ghouls can get level 3 extremely fast.
Yeah.
And with the Nova being a close to instant cast, you can pretty easily deny Coil last hits. But we'll have the issue that you're playing Ghouls later on. And, you know.
I mean, 1-0 had great Lich first games pretty much against all races.
Yeah.
But not here.
We have seen him playing it plenty of times these last couple of months in the online tournaments against the lesser undeads. But he seems to be respecting Happy so much that he feels he cannot win with anything other than the absolute best strategy. And the absolute best strategy seems to be Tet Fiend opening into Fiend triple hero. With a surprisingly low amount of Banshees. That's the big difference here between these two. Also, the expansion, as before mentioned. This is a horrible map for a sneaky expansion. It is, in fact, impossible to sneak an expansion up here.
Yeah, I wonder what he does now. This must be a different game plan, right? He was one of the first to introduce to us the mercenary snipe early. Wouldn't be too surprised to see that along the way. Happy sees the movement, sees, okay, he's not at the lab. Going for the trolls, which is the standard. You could go for lightning shield creep if you want to.
Yeah, what you can do here is pick up more skeletons and then go for lightning shield creep at your opponent's base. But it seems like 1-0 is not planning to do that. Slight variation here. Happy takes out all the trolls. 1-0 goes over to the kobolds right after. Here he will be able to pick up claws and level 2. Cloak for Happy, not what he wants. It's all about stats, all about damage especially.
Ooh, Happy with the Nerubian tower.
Yeah, playing it safe.
Also a thing that 1-0 did not go for. I guess that is the lightning shield. Creeping it without it. No. Did it work? No.
No, he messed it up.
Oh, a little too fast. A little too nervous with the movement.
He's got plenty of normal damage though, so this Renegade will still fall quickly. But yeah, not quite optimal. Will take him a little bit more HP. Gloves is good, but claws is better.
Yeah, and this camp by 1-0 was definitely more exposed, or will be more exposed in the mid game. So tiny little lead for 1-0. But the most important thing is level 2. Also no lightning shield here, but ghouls.
1-0 once again
Very
min-maxing here. Just make it a little bit stronger. So he can probably go towards the middle and try to contest Happy's kobolds perhaps. Acolyte was scouting there for quite a while. Didn't see Happy for the time being. And now 1-0 is scouting with the Acolyte at the Merc camp. Slightly misreading the timing here. Happy just a little bit slower than he thought. Did he calculate in the lightning shield creep? And for that reason, thinks Happy must be doing something else?
That could definitely be true. Then this little slip is helping Happy, actually. Not sure if he would have been in time anyway. Okay, we are on equal footing again. Same creep spots taken out. But Happy doesn't know where his opponent is. 1-0 does.
Acolyte usage again, so good. Yes, the Acolyte is dying here, but that is absolutely worth it because that lets 1-0 know that he's safe top left to creep the Merc camp. Happy's going to do the same, but for him it's a bigger risk. He doesn't know where his opponent is. Turns out he's not going to get punished for this, but this could have very well been a TP forced.
Yeah. And again, the item gamble in mirror matches always. And this time it's Happy rushing tier 3.
Yeah.
So
He supply stocks it a little bit with the Acolyte still alive. He's probably going to deny that in a moment.
Rune Bracers versus Boots of Kel'Thuzad. Both not the nuts.
Still not denying the Acolyte.
Player's forces
All
are
right,
under
there we
attack.
go. Finally, boom. Supply opened up, and here comes the Lich. But yeah, that is a little bit late. Are they both trying to go to the Merc camp, trying to get the next item?
I think 1-0 just
Yeah.
at the shop.
1-0 always seems to be a little bit smarter with his movement.
Mhm. So far on this map, yeah. 1-0 has no lumber at the moment.
Oh, Happy might be aiming for the Slaughterhouse cancel again.
It's just
It's
out
pretty
of the
late
house.
now, though.
No. It's okay. Totally fine.
Again, no Nerop.
3 Fiends and a DK. That's a pretty easy cancel, actually.
Yeah.
That's super big. Ghoul's trying to defend. DK is also low.
And this is what's again gonna mean. Oh.
Is it worth a TP? Don't think so. Just a normal disengage should be fine.
Mana on 1-0 is very low.
He's fighting Lich without a Lich. In 1-0's base. This man is so brave.
Still no Nerop.
Yeah. Third time.
Oh, Fiend. Oh, almost in kill range right there.
Mass mana.
Happy's Lich coming in now finally. All Fiends hurt already for 1-0.
Yeah, but they are spread. So Nova doesn't hit 2 of them at the same time. One can always be coiled. And one needs to be coiled soon. Oh, going for the DK!
Don't think he knew about the Rune Bracers.
There
There's
was
ano-
plenty of time to check.
Oh, skeleton block.
Ooh.
Shout out to Juan. Nicely done.
Sweet.
And that's first blood for 1-0.
Yeah, but again, the Slaughterhouse cancelled. I think Happy could have gotten more here. Or retreat earlier and lose less.
Yeah. Using Nova on the DK was the big mistake there. Could have definitely gotten a Fiend of his own.
Temple of the Damned again. Very fast.
Yeah, it's really early. It's even before tier 3 finished, right?
Maybe a tiny bit. But maybe he sees the inventory of the Lich, just wants the curse back. Which is again, very, very good. On this map we have 2 shops, so more invo potions.
Oh, replenishment, pretty nice right now with DK so hurt. Oh, DK in the middle, that's dangerous. Nova from the tree line could force a TP. Big experience right here for 1-2-0.
Yeah, and
One.
unpunished. Absolutely unpunished. Wind of Mana Stealing, also nice.
And once again, 1-2-0 gets map positioning and the Dark Ranger, and Happy is going to have to hold on with only 2 heroes for a while.
Equal supply. I'm really curious, now that he opened up this natural so early, if he's trying it again. That would be a big move that I wouldn't recommend, but who am I?
Is Happy really going to go in here
Forces are under
without a Dark Ranger?
Pretty much a level disadvantage on the Lich. And no Dark Ranger. Creeps are helping for now. Puts good pressure on the DK, there's no Dark Ritual.
Where's this Rock Golem going? What?
No.
Oh, Ensnare flying. That is something good for 1-2-0, but he's aiming for the Rock Golem first, gets the item.
Silence arrives for Happy. Scroll of the Beast popped again, second time in a row. Couldn't call the Fiend, but it is safe. Nova arrives. Is there a call for Happy? Yes, there is, but another Fiend is super hurt. Has to send it out. Fiend damage is good. Nova to slow down the DK, and Happy disengages without a loss.
All right. Without that scroll, this fight is looking scary for 1-2-0. That scroll may have saved him the TP, perhaps.
Happy puts the boots of Kel'Thalas on the Lich. More attack speed alongside the gloves. That's pretty sick. But he lacks the damage. No 3 claws this time. There's not too many camps available anymore.
A player's force
Comes the expansion again. This keeps on happening. Good game by 1-0. Good experience lead. He's gonna get double level ups from this camp, plus a big drop. This is one of the better matches, certainly. One of the better maps here so far this series for the Chinese.
Level ups across the board. And now the big drop. Again, the question, how fast will Happy scout this? What can he get at the red spot? Map is pretty much empty. Not much to creep anymore. 4-1-2-0, it is. A good question what this is. Warsong Battle drops. 10% damage on everything. And now he pushes into the base. Happy has to speed up the creeping. There is a TP, of course, didn't use it yet. What can he accomplish in Happy's base? Ghouls, Acolytes. Quite easy kills, but easy to replenish. Did he get the granite? I'm not sure. Nope. Most likely not. Oh, Cloak of Flames. Nova immediately killing this Fiend.
1-for-1 Fiend so far. Happy gets the next one. Nova coming in again, almost with another one, but that one gets coiled. Coil on cooldown for now. Happy trading better so far, but 1-0 gets the Ray with the rest. Just barely. Aura advantage here for 1-0 becoming noticeable.
Yes. Not only the Warsong Battle Drums, but of course the Unholy Aura too as well. But there's also Lich advantage, right? So Nova advantage, Aura advantage, item advantage, and soon Echo advantage. Happy is pushing into upkeep. Counter expansion.
Okay.
This will not work.
1-0 looking for the flank. Does Happy see the Fiend? It doesn't look like he does.
Ooh, ships in the night, but this ship kills the Acolyte very quickly. Banshee moved back immediately. He got that Rock Golem for a little more experience, but that doesn't give him level 3. Happy fighting uphill. 1-0 pushing for game 5.
Silence is hitting the DKs right away. Statue is in deep trouble for Happy. Loses the first one. The next one seems to be out of the fight. Fiends now being next in focus. 1-0 lost one already. That one barely gets saved with a coil last second.
Curse.
Banshees, of course, the big advantage here for Happy.
Curse spread pretty much everywhere. One Fiend for 1-0 on the other side of the map does get saved, but it's once again out of the fight. Numbers seem to be in favor of Happy so far, but his expo got cancelled.
Yeah. Most important thing here. 1-0. Up in economy.
Dives for the Echo again, or for the Fiend again. There's mana for Nova.
This will certainly be the TP here forced. But 1-0 is trying to buy time.
Yeah.
Forces
That's
Happy back.
Blatantly obvious.
a player's forces are under
One more Acolyte in the back. Doesn't quite get it. But that was a good TP. Didn't lose anything outside of the TP. And now he's mining. 1-0 in a really good position now. He just has to hold on.
Yeah.
And this game is looking really good for him. 0-0 against 2-0. Upgrade.
And the drums.
Yeah. 3 upgrade advantage for the Fiends.
Yeah. And a heal scroll and an invul. Happy has nothing to work with in his inventory. And his 8 supply down. Trying to disrupt this mining. But there's a flank coming from the right hand side. We have destroyers again. Anti-magic shell pretty much everywhere. Protecting the Fiends first. Web comes in. Could be an easy destroyer kill, but that soaks up quite some mana. Happy is losing one of the Banshees if 1-0 focuses correctly. Coils the destroyer. Banshee's still up. So are the statues, but super hurt. Finally level up for the Lich.
2 Fiends dying there by Happy, dropping lower in numbers. We have 3 Fiends now against 6 actually for 1-0. Way up ahead with the damage now. Morphines are coming in, but look at the mana. Happy, almost out of mana everywhere. Level 3 Lich for him was so late this game.
Yeah.
The delay of the Lich in favor of a faster tier 3. I just don't think that's so wise.
Nice concave. Again, the Abomination.
Lich! GG.
Didn't work. 1-2-0 ties up the series once again, and we get our game 5. Ooh, not crumbling under the pressure. Playing what I think was his best match in the series.
Yeah, this one, there was nothing really sneaky going on. There was no real luck being involved. Just straight up, really good, solid play by 1-2-0. Smart, tactical, and Happy delaying the Lich. I really don't think that's what you're supposed to do. We have seen over and over how important it is to grab creep camps, get big items, and get the level 3 in a timely manner. It's such a big level up. Happy way too slow with that this time around. But we'll probably know about this, that this was his mistake. And yeah, these two go full distance again. We saw that before in the grand final in Yule Cup.
Yeah.
It was Happy claiming the victory. 1-0 now, one map away from getting revenge and eliminating the champion.
True. We could crown a new king if 1-2-0 takes one more map. Last time they met each other in game 5, 1-2-0 went for the fast expansion. Happy found out and conquered. I don't think this will happen again. 1-2-0 feels good now, having the momentum of game 4. He will pretty much play straight up, I think. Map is Echo.
No, that was vetoed by Happy.
Terranos was vetoed as well.
So Twisted, yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's fun. That is a lot of item drops involved as well. This is a big map also. Once Upon a Time was very popular with Lich first. Is 1-2-0 gonna bust it out in the final map, the all-deciding map 5?
One big surprise in this series. We haven't seen these the big surprises yet. The expansions were cool and different and risky, but all justifiable. If it's a Lich, if it's a Dreadlord, if it's something super crazy, I don't know. I think he learned his lesson. I think he's going straight up.
Yeah, I think so too.
If not...
When they played in Yule Cup, by the way, Twisted Meadows was by far the most one-sided map from Happy. He destroyed 1-2-0 there with the unusual early skeleton harass in the main, which we don't see too much anymore. But we already saw the Acolyte juggling by 1-2-0 seems to have improved significantly. He's absolutely respecting Happy's ability to abuse that as much as he can. So 1-2-0 has well adjusted. Is making this a super close series. We've had quite a few 2-0s in our group stage, but it's nice to see these games so close today. 3-2, 3-1, 3-2. And only one of these guys can make it to the top 4. Who's it gonna be?
1-2-0 on the way to his 5th grand final. Of course, there's an obstacle in the way. He was at the semi-final last time. He wants to be there again. Would, of course, be then his 6th semi-final. Again, map 5, 1-2-0 versus Happy. We're loading into one of the most legendary maps that Walker 3 has to offer. Many, many finals have been decided on Twisted Meadows.
Opening builds. What do we have? Standard. We're sticking with standard. Tet Fiends by both. Ultra
like that.
Ziggurats.
I don't want this series to be decided by cheese. I want this series to be decided by micro and decision making. And therefore, we got a good start.
So 1-2-0 with a far forward Ziggurat, by the way. If Happy decides to try to dive into the back of the Acolytes again, this can be problematic. As you can see, the back of the base is wide open.
Yeah.
Shop coming up now.
This is a lot of tension. It's a lot of pressure. 1-2-0 would be the second newbie player right after Lin. For many people, a dream finale. Same goes for Lin versus Happy. Right after this match, we're gonna get Sock versus TH for the semi-finals. The Cinderella story of Sock continues, maybe. There's so many question marks, especially with item drops.
Yeah. Both scouting in the wrong direction, but with the Acolyte timing, which we'll be meeting,
Yeah.
we'll know where the opponent is. Early Nerup, okay.
He's going for a Nerup this time.
Finally. And I think that speaks volumes of their last series, where again, 1-0 felt the pain in the early game.
Yeah, it feels like this tournament is a lot about learning from mistakes. We had this between Lin and TH a little. We had this especially between Happy and Infi, where Happy learned from a series 1 week ago. Now it could be 1-0.
There we go. Happy wants to look for the main, but the Nerup is going to make things difficult. That one is done already.
A player's
Happy
force
going for his own. Nerup not cutting any corners here.
He sees it, backs off. So no damage to Acolyte so far. Walks a big circle around that narrow tower. Attack on the same side, but the DK is here. Ghouls are able to defend. The juggling is good. This should not result in kills, but Happy's out on the map. 1-0 is in his base. This is the first experience for the champ.
Just a little bit here being gained
player's force is
by
under
Happy. A
attack.
little bit more experience. Early on, we don't have too many fiends in the mix, so really not much you can accomplish. Stealing something like the null camp away from your opponent, that would be a big play. Would result in level 2 for Happy. Is he trying to bait a bit of a surround here? Skeletons.
Trying to save it, but that's the first experience for 1-0. No revenge kill just yet. Nice skeleton micro.
Oh!
Almost a surround. He got a second chance.
That was close. Good movement there by 1-0. Walking in north, south, east, west directions. That way you can get blocked only rarely.
Happy first to have the fiend out. Helps in this
Player's
exchange. This
forces
is
are under attack.
usually the case on Twisted, as the camps are all pretty hard to take. Block again.
Oh! He got him!
it! The skeleton! He might be able to fight out, though. He's not hitting anything at the moment.
Coil? Yeah.
Yeah. Forces the TP. Oh, that is...
Wait, skeletons might expire.
Wait a sec.
Oh, he
No
still
way.
got him! What?
The Acolyte. What a hero light. And this is very problematic. There's no healing. It's a ritual dagger
First time this tournament.
in a WGL round of 8. Unbelievable. But he cancels it.
Uh-oh.
The fiend shot comes in. He cancels it. Has to go for the second one.
Yeah, he's got another charge.
But it's on cooldown, right? So he kills the skeleton, so he has to sacrifice either a charge of Rod of Necromancy or a unit.
Whew. Classic Twisted Meadows game. Not really any creeping early
Naga!
on.
Naga second for 1-0 again. We saw it on Last Refuge earlier. This comes in as a surprise, but the DK blocked again by a skeleton. No DP! The Frost Arrow now. How much damage can the Naga do? She must do the heavy lifting. There must be plenty of coils. The DK is not in this fight.
This fiend is dead.
Good long range coil. Times it well, but I guess it's only about the deny. Naga gets it. But this was not experienced on the DK. Ooh, skeletons threatening the DK again.
It's a
But
lot of damage on the Naga already.
yeah, the frost arrows.
Fine with the block. But the DK is much faster than the fiend, so he should get away. When the Lich comes out, this is super scary for 1-2-0.
Yeah. Ritual dagger again.
This should... He needs to try to not get this cancelled. This healing is crucial. It's not much, but it's a bit of healing.
Lich is coming. Lich is coming and DK is at 40%.
Uh-oh. 1,
This
2,
could
0.
decide the game right here. Where's the Nova?
No!
There is Ice Age. There is Frostborn. There is no DK for 1-2-0, and the Naga could fall as well. Happy, is this your push into the semifinal? Naga is down. Double kill for Happy, and this Naga play didn't work out at all.
But 1, 2, 0. You have to expect this. You know the tech timing. You know the Lich must be coming.
Too ambitious, too greedy.
That was reckless.
Felt forced into this Naga. He was very successful with her before, but not here. This is level 2 DK soon.
Lich is reaching around from the other side.
Yeah, very
with a
smart.
body block, this could perhaps be the kill. No, never
DK
mind.
is back.
DK is back, okay.
He stays in this. It was both only level 1, but it was 2 times level 1.
It's kind of surprisingly okay for 1, 2, 0. First statue is going to be a big deal. Here comes the statue number 1 for 1, 2, 0. For Happy, it should be on the way as well. A quick tier 3 for the Chinese.
But this is...
A player's forces are
Like,
under
what does it
attack.
do to your brain if you own map 4 pretty much, and then the game starts like this? This must make you think. And for Happy, he's in... Like, this is smooth sailing again.
That insane was just so insane. 2 skeleton surround, Acolyte involved against the DK, against the trees. But heroes are back. Lich is about to come out. We're going to have 1, 2, 0 and a triple hero. This game is not over yet, guys.
No.
We're even in supply.
He hangs in there. The times of 1-2-0 tapping out after 4 minutes are over. This is not happening anymore. Naga gets some more damage.
Skeleton.
Yeah, of course against 1-2-0. Always snipe it. Big healing. What do we have here? Something +6. Okay, more damage. Not the greatest though. Lich third out for 1-2-0. Should bring the orb. He has the resources.
Dark
for the
Ranger.
supply. Yep, standard build by Happy. Cookie cutter build, the strongest build.
Double statue against single statue again. Like we saw before.
2-3, 2-2-1. Experience-wise, this is surprisingly equal.
Despite the double hero kill. How insane is that,
Yeah,
right?
and the Invul Potion, like this shop creep, a little better for 1-2-0 thanks to the starting position. But the Naga is the #1 liability. Can't be coiled. Always needs potions. Always needs help to survive.
But the cold arrow is really nice for sniping out these fiends, as we can see here. First silence. Where is it? Patiently waiting.
Also no Nova. Here it is on the DK.
On the DK? Yeah, why? Questionable. Double silence in the back. That meant no Nova. Oh, Naga now getting focused quite severely. Lich in trouble. Heal potion is there.
Okay, there was the consumable gone, and now the Nova. Can he kill something again? Yep, 1 fiend down, another fiend hurt. Lich low, DK low.
5 fiends now versus 3. And only 1 player has the silence.
50 supply versus 40. Another Nova.
Silence again.
He starts the snowball. The so important snowball that decided
Naga!
almost every game. He blocks the way of the Naga, but can he stay in there? No! On the DK. Whoa! 40 supply, but the Invul Potion swap. This Naga remains alive. This fiend dead. 1-0 survives. Destroyer ready.
Good trade for 1-0. Forces the TP. Gets the fiend, all for just a single Invul. And Invul might even be ready again.
Clawing his way into the game. Happy 6th Acolyte.
My goodness.
A player's forces are under attack.
More creeping. Better spot for the Chinese again. +9 on the Lich. Good damage. Or even Naga. This best of 5 does not disappoint.
Double
Both expanding.
All right, can we please go 2 base, 2 base? I would not be opposed.
Ultra late game. Creep the entire map. Give me the best undead possible. Hell yeah.
A player's
But the issue will always be, for 1-0, he's not going to have silence. And that is a big downside. If he's lucky,
Staff of Silence is available.
Staff of Silence
Absolutely.
is a possible drop. This is the red camp, the only one we have in the competitive pool where such an item can drop. Kind of a polarizing loot table. We have really good items here, and we have pretty crap items here as well.
Is it the nuts? Is it the nuts? It is the spell shield.
Good for the Naga. Or the Lich.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Prevents Nova. Not silence, though.
Can be manually triggered with manual curse, but hard to have that overview in a big fight.
Yeah. Okay. Expansion. Happy should not allow 1-0 the second red spot.
And 1-0 so far, this whole series, the games he won, he got ahead economically.
Not happening this time. Not yet, at least. 1-0 is not rushing for the red spot. I kind of expected the true shot. More damage. Again, the big damage build. Happy has to get better upgrades than on Amazonia. Level 3 for the DK on both sides. Level 3 on the Lich. Level 3 on the Naga, of course, as well. And upgrades are in production for Happy. He's teching. And red spot as well. This is an arms race.
All right, what do we have here?
Double silence.
Happy
Big pendant. Alrighty. On NI, there was a small one of this for 1-0. Didn't help him. Well, of course, did help him. Didn't win him the game.
Happy
But this
scouts.
is so much more.
Crystal ball, probably going to check exactly over there. No, never mind. Where do you scan? Rume's looking. Where is it?
Yeah,
Where's the scan?
Didn't know.
I think it was at the red camp. Yeah, it was at the red camp.
Oh, yeah. Just barely misses it then. Sees it's gone. Can't anticipate
Sobi
Sobi Mask. Oh, so much mana.
I feel
But
like
so much damage.
I think you should give one of these items over to the Lich. Like, DK doesn't need all of this insane mana.
Yeah. This is a ton of damage. Look at this, man. Flute, Claw, Boots of Kel'Thalas on the Naga, Double Claw on the Lich, level 3 now as well.
The town is
Yep.
under siege.
Who's got more damage? Hard to tell. Happy might be coming in for the creep. Jack sees it with the skeletons.
But 1-0 will get the consumable. Lich with
Big mana.
big mana. Oh, supply lead for Happy. But can he take this fight? Should he take this fight? 2 destroyers in the air, aiming for the Lich right away. Was there a silence on the DK? I guess so, but the Lich survives. Destroyer for 1-0 immediately dead. Heads up, fight for the Fiends, and this is a TP out statue killed. And the
And a Fiend!
And a Fiend. But they got a revenge kill with the Fork Lightning on that Fiend.
Happy coming in with a surprise destroyers in map 5. Didn't play a single destroyer until now. 1-0 was not ready with the web.
Oh, and he's pushing the expansion, but 1-0 is flanking. Big supply lead for Happy. Lots of gold for 1-0. Needs production, but is greedy. Not breaking upkeep. Lich again. No Nova.
Whew, that
Gets the coil.
scary, scary, scary.
Happy has a TP. He bought it again. 1-0 has not just used it. And the Naga has no invul anymore.
How surprising. Happy when there's no Dark Ranger, then he starts playing destroyers. But the surprise came at the perfect time, seemingly.
Necropolis under fire. 1-0 has to engage soon. Can intercept reinforcements. Happy continues production. Big mana is of course great. Fiend zapped. Second one 50% down. This is no coil thanks to... Oh, this dispel on the silence was lightning speed fast.
But the Fiends taking so much damage. Still long range coil. Really good saves right there by 1-0. Gets the destroyer. But this time the coil arrives before the Fork Lightning. More Fiends falling on both sides. DK in trouble. 1-0 forcing perhaps the TP.
Lich for Happy about to be level 4. Destroyer number 2 falls. No coil for that. Doesn't seem to be... This is a priority for him. More Fiends falling for 1-0, but there is the coil ready. Fork Lightning again, and it does a great job against Happy's Fiends.
Yeah. Fork Lightning plus Nova. So much damage, so much burst onto these Fiends.
Happy is dropping in supply. This is almost equal. The DK is under pressure as well. Oh, nice Nova, and that's level 4 for him. Big damage increase now with the +4 intelligence.
And big Dark Ritual as well if he wants it.
Yep.
More fiends dying. Oh! Coil misses last second.
And 1-2-0 gets the Coil off. Lich in trouble. Coil should be on cooldown. Has an invul and is threatening more of these fiends. Gets another kill. This Coil misses for 1-2-0. This is about every single spell. Lich gets healed up. DK might be a little in trouble. There is still Fog Lightning and Nova. This fiend falls. Lets it fall.
Ooh.
Happy should you TP out. His expansion is super safe. Could back up. Could heal up. Another statue falling.
Lich.
Oh, the
Wow!
Coil!
Too late!
There we go. This should be it. The damage dealer is gone. One of the damage dealers is gone. 1-2-0 about to lose another fiend, but without the Orb of Corruption, how can you hold on?
Needs to buy back from the tavern.
Yeah.
100%.
But
He's going there right now.
This is time for Happy to do damage to the economy.
Town is under
There was a moment where I thought what Happy gives this game out of his hand, where the Fog Lightning was too strong, but now the Nova and Fog Lightning combo is not available. Mana low here, mana low on the Lich.
And keeping all these mana items on the DK for Happy, perhaps it was the right call because he still has so many coils remaining.
Is this the last fight for 1-2-0 at WGL Winter? Another fiend safe. The DK, is he surrounded again? Is this the story of Twisted Meadows? No, he's opening up the way but taking heavy damage. Nova, big time into everything. Coil arrives.
Skeletons also hard to deal with, trying to go for Destroyer now to deal with them.
Fiend, long range, Dark Ranger damage is enough so far. Web on the Destroyer again. Happy loses another Fiend, but the Destroyer for 1-2-0 dies. Heavy focus on the DK now, threatening the town for the Lich again in trouble.
Oh!
Can he reach? DK should be careful. Is slowed, is buying
Happy?
some time, needs a TP. Is he underestimating
Whoa!
the damage? No, he's not. And saves it. Oh, damage
Oh!
to the DK!
My God!
players forced.
Jesus
Are-
Christ.
Both of them.
Look, did you see? The spell shield saved the Lich. It blocked the Nova. My God, what is this game?
Masochists, both of them.
My heart rate is going up.
Yep.
And it's not just because of the energy
I'm
drink, man.
shaking a little as well.
But now Banshee Tech is coming in. We have seen that make all the difference before.
Happy. Ruthless aggression once again. He sees an opening to defeat 1-2-0 here by killing an expansion, not expanding a second time. He's right in his face once more. There is no Temple of the Damned for 1-2-0.
The last big creep camp on the map. 1-2-0 goes for it, not knowing the enemy's whereabouts. This is going to cost him some acolytes, probably. Happy's going to take a pit stop at the green. It's going to be a few more skeletons. Mana advantage seems to be on Happy's side.
Invul Potion again has to be bought for the Naga. He's trying to go for the Nerubian, but Happy arrives earlier. Rebought the TP. Has an Invul Potion on the Lich this time. Level 4 Dark Ranger, more Acolytes slaughtered. More experience, racing to level 5. Level 4 on all heroes here.
Full mana Lich on both sides. Happy getting ready with a third base.
Okay, he can buy time and TP out. Or will we have another insane fight here? 12 supply lead. How much of that is in production? How much on the field? DK getting threatened again.
Oh.
Lightning breaks the anti-magic. And again, before the Orb arrives, but the Dark Ranger, can he save her? Yes, he can, but 2 units arriving at the scenery, not in TP range.
That Nova plus Fog Lightning instantly pops the anti-magic. And then the right click coming in from the level 2 Cold Arrow, and this DK is in deep trouble.
Yeah.
This Naga working out surprisingly well.
Yeah, still happy with the lead. Oh, running in with the DK. This time no consumable. Is there mana on the Lich? I think so. Whoa, he's got to be careful.
Happy with a big supply lead. You can't see it right now, though. Seems like quite a bit is still stuck in production.
Denies the Fiend for less experience. Both closer and closer to 5. Happy has a little bit of an experience lead, but it's not too much. What he has is a third base in production, and it should be finishing soon. Main gold mines, I think, about to run dry, or it just feels this way. 2-1 for 1-2-0 on the Fiends.
Against Happy is 3-0.
Okay.
But 1-0 also has 2 aura advantage. That is like his only advantage at the moment.
Okay, Happy mining from 3 bases. He's checking in the upper left-hand starting position, sees, okay, I should be safe. There is no third base for him just yet. There's
Still no Banshees for 1-2-0.
yeah, it's like crazy town.
Oh, Lich pretty far forward. The spell she was on cooldown right there. 40-second cooldown, rather long.
This is good mana on Lich, half mana on Naga. Still, the mana pool for the DK of Happy is nothing but insane. He has a heal scroll now as well. No Dark Ritual on neither side. Both have to go for the Aura Web. Can he force a fight? 80 supply. Happy is about to be maxed out. Saves that Fiend. Dark Ranger again a little far forward. Zaps again, but there must be a coil. Is the coil on cooldown? The Dark Ranger heal scroll on her. There's the coil to save her. Destroyer being saved once more. And here's the focus fire on the DK. A reoccurring thing. The Lich, Invo Potion, and coil. Is it time for the snowball to start? Happy. DK, right click. Here comes the Fork Lightning. Now the right clicks arrive. The anti-magic shell is gone. Finally gets rid of that Destroyer. Oh no, gets coiled again.
Big Nova by Happy there, hitting all of the Fiends. It's barely any Fiends left for 1-0. His DPS is disappearing very quickly. Happy now with a massive supply lead, 30 supply ahead. Looks like the Russian is doing it again. As long as he keeps his heroes alive, and now perhaps aiming for the DK of 1-2-0.
No TP. If there's a little more clicks, then he gets it. The Fiend shots, not enough. Statue already, but the DK should be out of the fight if the Lich can reach or anything can reach. The so important first hero falls. But it's not the case. Happy needs a couple of kills, 1 or 2 more for level 5 Death Knight, level 5 Lich, and then this should be over and he goes to the semi-final 2 times in a row. So far, so good. 30 supply lead, that's the level 5 right there. And this must be the kill. The Naga is dead, and that's just the start of the beginning. No way! GG, 1-0 out, and Happy does it again. Best undead in the world, confirmed.
What a series that was. That was Undead Mirror par excellence. And you can see the respect in his eyes.
Yeah. Running over right away. This brought Happy to his limits.
Yeah. At the end, he prevails. But that was as close as it gets. Remember how that game started? Naga and DK both died to the Lich, and somehow 1-0 almost wins that game. It's supposed to be over right there.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be ending right there.
TP gone, 2 hero kills on level 1. Happy should have run away with experience. Happy had the better hero combo, but man, 1-0 let him fight so hard for this. But again, Happy special, constant pressure, constant fighting. Don't let him unfold something. And Naga constantly needs more potions than you do. Always had to go to the shop. There was some resources.
Yeah. For a while, the Nova Fog Lightning combo was insane.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing about like throwing your opponent off with little micro moves like that. Because normally you always have a certain hit, a bar of the Fiend in mind where you know, okay, now it's in kill range. But with Fog Lightning coming into the mix, that changes because you can instantly tap a 300 HP Fiend. Nova, Fog Lightning, boom, dead. And then when she was level 4, the level 2 Cold Arrow actually turned out to be tremendous hero focus potential. How many TPs was he able to force on this DK? He was just once a little too far forward. Also the anti-magic getting popped by Nova Fog Lightning every time, so fast. Happy. Felt like almost this game was slipping away from him, but yeah, he makes it work. Once again, he's been having a lot of close 3-2s recently.
Against Hawk, against Thorzane, now against 1-0 twice. But yeah, he prevails, man. He prevails. He always wins these series. And now he has beaten all the greats in the world offline, except one guy. That's Lin.
Is that what this is all heading towards?
Seems like it. Lines up. First, he has another challenger in the semi-final, and that is either Sock or TH. But let's hear from the world champ, from the semi-finalist, from Happy.
How do you feel to qualify to top 4 again twice in a row?
I'm pretty satisfied so far. It's very good because I expected to finish at least in top 4, so my performance is good already.
问他的问题是呢，他感受怎么样？也是他第2次晋级到了4强，他觉得他非常的开心，目前对自己的发挥非常满意。他这次目标呢也是4强。So we have 3 players qualified to top 4 already, which is including you, LP 42 and Ling. So which player are you afraid the most to play against?
Well, of course, I'm more afraid of Lin because he plays Orc. But either way, any player is very strong because, well, it's hard to advance to later stages of the tournament.
Sure， 问他的是，那现在他是第3位晋级到4强的选手，目前晋级的是42和 Ling。那么他自己最害怕遇到的是哪一位选手？他表示应该是 Ling 啊，因为 Ling 用的是这个 Orc， 是一个兽族。当然了，他觉得每一场比赛都不容易。接下去来问一下他对我们下一场比赛的预测，到底是 Sok 0-0谁可以获胜 ？So what's your prediction for next game for Human Mirror? Are you go for winner Sok or you go for TH?
Well, I think TH is gonna win, but Sok showed that he is in very good shape, especially by beating Infi. So I think he has a good chance, but I still expect TH to win.
他说他认为 TH 0-0是可以获胜，但是 Sok 昨天表现是非常的亮眼，他觉得 Sok 有很大的机会，但是他更认为 TH 是可以获胜。最后来问一下他对我们的观众有什么想说了 ？You got huge fan base here in China. Anything you want to say to them?
Well, thank you for watching and thank you for cheering for me. I hope I will show as good games as I can.
他说谢谢你们到来，谢谢你们为他们加油，希望他刚刚的比赛让你们满意。再次把掌声来送给 Happy。那预告一下，我们主舞台下一场比赛是人族内战，也是最后一张4强的门票。Winner Sok 迎战的是 RWTH 000。我们一会儿见。